We got a new project in the shop, and this one is my vehicle. So most of the stuff you've seen on the channel, it's all someone else's. There's very little of my stuff going on. The boat was mine, and I think that's about it. But we're going to give it a walk around here. And I initially, before I pulled this thing in the shop, I initially did some filming and made sure that I had footage of it and, you know, coming out of storage and all that stuff. And it's gone. So I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but let's get a walk around. So here it is. This is my 2002 Chevy Blazer that I LS swapped in 2014 and drove it for about, I want to say 130,000 miles as is, with a bone stock L33 aluminum 5.3 with a cam, and that was it. And I lowered it. I did Beltec spring in the rear, did a Beltec drop spindle QA1 uppers, Spawn lower control arms, and QA1 coilovers. Other than that, the truck, other than that and the 5.3, it's stock. Interior's bone stock. There's nothing else going on. I was able to hunt down years ago a 8.5 10 bolt. So it's got a 10 bolt in it, the 8.5, way heavier duty than the 7.5 that came with it. And my dream has always been to turbo this thing. And we're going to go through the 5.3. You've seen the build room in other videos, getting this thing in here and building this. It'll probably be a 2 or 3 part. The goal, first off, is to tow the boat to LS Fest with the Blazer. And we've already started the build, so we're a little ways into it. Today is May 4th, and it's got to be done on the 17th. Hasn't run since 2020. I drove it around the block once in 2020 and pulled the engine out and put it in the boat. So a lot of stuff to do. Let's see what happens. Little progress report on Cherry Bomb here. Stripped the frame down and painted it. And then where I had to cut it out here, I just welded in a couple of braces, just some steel there. But it always looked ugly from the outside because the frame paint on these GMs is all just yuck. So can't see it there, so I wasn't worried about it. I didn't have any rust or anything. I just didn't like the way it looked. We made some good progress last night. Had to hack up the frame a little bit, and so the pan would drop in, and also cut the AC box right here so that we could clear the valve cover. And there's my camera counting down. But yeah, we're getting there, one little thing at a time. Guys, I'm gonna apologize ahead of time for the noise. It's loud in this shop when it's raining, so I'll talk loud. So we don't have a major clearance issue here. I've already scratched my valve cover up though, but it clears. And I'm gonna change, hopefully today, change this out to a Hydro Boost unit. I have a Hydro Boost unit here, so let's get rocking. Okay, booster's out. There's a big hole there. So I'm just gonna kind of wipe everything down before I put this back together. But as I lay these up together, it looks like the bolt pattern's the same. And that rod is, I mean, just a teensy tiny bit longer. Hard to tell from here, but I mean, it's just barely longer. The pedal will be a tad bit higher. I'm good with that. No mods needed. Love it. Super exciting. Super duper exciting. This is, woo! One more time. Woo! All right. Let's get back to it. Hydro Boost conversion. Look at all the room. We're working with belts here on the project. So we got the belt set up for the main. Now we're going with a AC belt. And we had a regular belt here and a tensioner that bolted on here. And I tell you, alignment on some of these aftermarket brackets is not exactly perfect. And a tensioner can bounce off the belt, especially you run them to high RPM. Those dudes will just jump off, and we'll have problems. You know, you throw an AC belt off, then it walks up here into the main belt. Now you tossed your main belt. You know, that can be a problem. So modern vehicles use a stretch fit belt, and you can tell it's stretch fit by right here, because that's what I'm looking at. It says stretch fit. How about that? So what you do is you get your general measurement, and then you go in here and you go to the O'Reilly catalog and you order every belt around that size just to irritate your counterman. And if you irritate him real good, you know, that's how they like you and that's how they know you better. Just kidding. Anyhow, we got a bunch of belts here, and we're going to see which one fits. And the way the stretch fit belt works is you walk it on there. So we're going to go with that route. Let's see if any of my measurements worked. So on this setup, you'll kind of just shove it on here. I like to set them up so later you can see the number if you need to, and it's not upside down. Just kind of walk her on here. Come on now. There you go. You take zip ties, and that's what holds the belt on, is zip ties. Nope, don't do it. But it will walk that belt on there. Go through, and I like to double them up for extra strength. Okay, now bam, belt is on, and I do believe she's gonna work. Let's get these and cut the zip ties off. She is. I'm going to fabricate a little brace that goes from this bolt for that idler down to this bolt hole, just to kind of give it a little strumpf on the back of that. And then last night we got the frame all stripped down. We got that big horn, this thing right here. This sets up on this frame like that. Big skid plate things. We got that cut off. Got the frame stripped down and painted. And today we're going to be working up here on the AC stuff. So I'm going to pull the inner fender liner out, and I'm going to trim that fender liner in hopes to get some exhaust to route through this area somewhere. So I need a 3-inch pipe to exit down and go down there that way and hook into the rest of the exhaust. But that's the hopes for today. If I can get the fender done and that AC box patched back up and the evaporator in, then that engine is going in for the final time. Famous last words. I need you to go to your home. ready to drop her in. Working a tad bit of magic here. What happens? Put a turbo LS where a 190 horse V6 used to sit. Ballpark will be fine. Hydraulic will do just about anything you need. Adrian over here does all kinds of oddball stuff. Small, local owned. Keep your dollars local, folks. You want to make sure that you support your local businesses, because you subscribe to the big box or the overseas stuff, eventually those local guys are going to be gone, and then all this complaint about China and all the garbage going on and can't get parts, or the parts are subpar. It's your own fault. Got the AC box kind of mocked up, and I'm gonna get it all secured on this side right here, and then once it's secured, then I'll use a heat gun and shape it back in there, and I do believe this is gonna work. It's gonna be better than factory. Here's what you use. My friend JB, I bet y'all didn't know they made them in this size. That's for someone who has a JB addiction. Pretty well set up. Little JB had a piece of plastic that, I don't remember where I got it, but I got it. So took a heat gun, heated it up, bent it into shape, so now I just kind of have that crevice in there. I'll pull the tape off. That's just to hold the JB while it's curing. This side's already cured up, nice and sturdy. We'll run some JB on the outside to smooth it out, paint it, be like it never happened. Got the AC, there's the low side line that I made, and it wraps around, hooks into the compressor right there. Got the turbo manifold on, and we had the dryer sitting right here, so it was a huge obstruction. It literally stuck out to about here, and that whole space was occupied. So we're going to set this turbo on. I believe that solved all my problems. That was the biggest headache. Fight, fight, fight. Finally, you win. Oh, there you go. Bang it up. Oh. Okay, come on. We'll set that right there. There is so much room for activities now. Woo! This is good news. Man, oh man, does that open up a whole realm of things right there. So, there's the turbo. Look at all that room. So I got plenty of room to bring that downpipe probably over here, exit this way, then wrap it back in. This bracket is no longer needed. That whole fender I cut for all the way up to here. So I may need to cut it more to bring that pipe through, but once it's through, I think I can come right in here. See if we can follow that. So bring it out, kind of in an angle this way, curve it, bring it out, come down like so, out and back into here. That should give me tire clearance and everything. Man, that is huge. Big, big, big. So what I'll do, I will set that fender in here, and of course I painted it already. I know better. But that is massive. Oh yeah. Get one last look at everything. Did I tell you I'm excited? Oh my goodness. This thing has been, this Blazer has been sitting since 2017. Had the transmission go out of it. I swapped it to a 480E and drove it twice. Never registered it again, never drove it much. So, man, oh man, 7 years. Why didn't I get going sooner? Now I just got to get the radiator and the cooling system figured out. And I think we'll be in good shape.